Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 81. Today we're going to look at the difference between client, customer, and consumer. All of them mean somebody who buys something or uses some services. So let's take a look at the difference because this does come up in class. Sometimes students will ask, what's the difference? All right, look at client first. This is the most professional of them all. Someone who receives a service from a professional person such as a lawyer, architect, accountant, consultant, advertising agency, etc., as well as big business that has accounts with buyers. So a lawyer has clients. A lawyer doesn't have customers. An architect doesn't have customers. You could go on and on and on. Sometimes people include the word doctor in here too, but I would prefer not to include doctor because I think most of the time with doctors or dentists or psychiatrists, we're a little more likely to use the word patient. They're more likely to use the word patient than any of these terms. Um, okay, let's take a look at the first example. Um, that architect has many clients. Yes, architect uses clients. They don't use customers. This lawyer claims his client is not guilty. Again, a lawyer doesn't say that he has a customer. Mr. Smith's advertising company has many clients, and the clients are probably other businesses that hire them to do advertising for them. So they use their services, their clients. Good. All right, let's take a look at the word customer, which is the most common. And technically, if you are the other two, technically you are really kind of a customer anyway. But how do we use it? We use customer mostly with people who buy things from stores. So a person who buys goods and services, especially from a shop. Good. So let's take a look at the first one. Jill tries hard to keep all her customers happy and satisfied in her bakery. Yeah, so the people who buy from her, she has a shop, she has a bakery. They're her customers. She doesn't call them clients. Definitely not. Okay, good. So let's take a look at the second one. Somebody who buys something from a convenience store is a customer, not a client. Yeah, again, definitely. Okay, good. That donut shop has a line of customers around the block. Yeah, all of these we would definitely not use the word client for. Okay, so let's look at a consumer. Um, Consumer, someone who buys things or services and uses these items or services themselves. So to be honest with you, this one is close to customer. And the far majority of the time, people who buy things from stores probably do actually use it themselves. So in those cases, they are almost the same. However, there are cases where it's not the same. You could buy something. You're the customer, you bought it, but maybe you gave it to somebody else. Somebody else used it, or some other food, somebody else ate it. That other person is really the consumer. You're the customer, they're the consumer. So a lot of times they're not the same thing. And you can think of it even in other business too. People that sell things retail, they probably have to buy from some wholesalers. Technically, they are a customer of the wholesaler, and then they resell it to somebody else, like in a shop, and that person buys it and uses it. They're the real consumer, not the retailer. So let's take a look. Okay, so someone who buys things or services and uses these items or services themselves. So that's the key part about a consumer. All right, this is another general note about the word consumer. Consumer is more formal than the word customer and is often used for referring to customers as a group. Okay, the first example, we'll cover this. Many consumers put in complaints about that company. Could you substitute the word customer here? Yeah, you probably could. But when we say consumers, we're really focusing on those who buy it and use it themselves personally. Okay, good. So here you can say, I am a consumer of these vitamins, and then you're letting someone know that you actually do use them. They probably were the customer as well, but like I said, there's always a chance that somebody else bought them for you and then gave them to you. In that case, customer and consumer are actually separate. But the far majority of the time somebody buys something from a store, they use it themselves. They are both. They are both the customer and the consumer. Okay, I hope that kind of clarifies it. I hope you can see the difference between these three. Again, client is the most professional and the most formal, especially somebody who gets services from professional people. We usually use it that way. Or big business, where big business has accounts that they have these maybe retailers or get stuff from them and then resell. They could be clients in that sense as well. Again, the customer is the most common one. So if you're thinking about somebody who just goes into, an average store and buys something, that's customer is probably the word that you want the most. That's the most common in this situation. Like I said, consumer, a lot of times consumer and customer are the same thing. The real point is whether you use it or not. Okay, I hope that clarifies it. Thank you for your time.